While I feel like every so often I do a breakdown of a game crowned the craziest ending of all time, and it seems like nothing could top it. But sports fans, I've got not one, but two finishes that you have to see to believe. And it's not enough to just watch and admire the incredible displays of athletic ability and clutch shot making. We've got to dive into the deeper drama surrounding at least one of the games, and when we're finished, I have no doubt you'll agree that this time, once and for all, we had the craziest finishes of all time. Let's start in Chicago, where the shorthanded Blazers were giving it to the Bulls behind Damian Lillard's prolific pointification. Through the first 33 minutes of game time, we got 26 points of Dame time. It all started with this nifty offensive set to start the game as Lillard gets off ball and they run a zipper cut to the top into a handoff to the right wing. Notice Cantor already creeping up because this weave action across the top is going to culminate with a ball screen for Dame on the left wing. Solid screen by Cantor gets Lillard free, Gafford gives him way too much space, and Lillard's got it going early. The double ball screen out top gave the Bulls defense all sorts of problems, as Dame's aggressive turning of the corner forced a switch, an advantage Lillard doesn't want to give up as he comes out the other side. The Blazers fan out on the weak side to give him more space for this piece of nastiness. He raises off of both feet as a gallop hesitation, behind the back twice, and he's searching for this moment when Markkanen plants his right foot back into the side, sitting up slightly in its stance. That's the cue he needs to push off his left foot for space before fading away to make sure it gets off and drops clean through the rim. Sensing blood in the water, Dame extends an already decent lead to blowout territory by pulling up from the M in Moda with a defender nearby, but it just doesn't matter. But the Bulls came roaring back at the end of the third quarter, led by Zach LaVine's scoring prowess. The drag screen gets bottled up nicely with the rotation by Rodney Hood and Harry Giles switching to cover. The reset to ball screen out top was switched by Anthony Simons, but Hood was just a step too low. LaVine takes advantage to quick release this up and in the basket to cut the lead to 8. This time it's Gary Trent Jr. on him, and he's too nonchalant, thinking he avoided the ball screen, but not ready for the hop off the dribble. Look how high LaVine gets. That hand up does nothing, as the ball is a clean swish. Clearly afraid of the long ball out of the pick and roll, the Blazers switch this, and I appreciate the valiant effort by Hood, but he reaches in here, and LaVine is already by him and into the lane. Portland had no rim protectors in, so LaVine shoots the unconventional inside hand layup right over the short help defense. And to extend the lead, LaVine takes the shorter Simons to the free throw line with the back down, step backs over him with a clean look at the hoop as the hand is up too late, and it looks like Portland's will was broken as the Bulls took control down the stretch with a combination of good offense, opportune defense and quick hands, and even more Zach LaVine shot-making heroics, which led the Bulls to an almost guaranteed win as Kobe White hits a pair of free throws for a 5-point lead under 12 seconds left. The Blazers need a 3 and they need one quick, so there's no need for fancy schmancy offense. Just push off the defender to get open, then one dribble into a left-right pull-up, good contest by White, but splash. The lead is now 2 with enough time left where the defense could try and force a turnover first before being forced to foul. Watch Thaddeus Young. He's the release valve when a double comes, and everyone in the gym knew they were going to double LaVine on the catch. But Young starts to literally sprint up the court, eliminating the passing angle and leaving LaVine out to dry. Why Donovan didn't call timeout here, I have no idea, and LaVine gets tied up for a jump ball. This was a hyper-fast call, mind you, but I imagine the refs get worried about elbows being thrown and flagrant fouls being committed, and it looks to me like this was going to be a jump ball situation a second later anyway. Based on how Gary Trent was facing, it's clear he wants to tap the ball with his left hand in the area to the right of the circle in front of him. Look how Portland is lined up. They've got players on the inside position at both spots. A mistake by the Bulls. Of course, Rocco gets control of the tip. Somehow the ball ends up in Dame's hands, of course, and it's his old buddy Markkanen guarding him, who can't get close on the contest as he leans back, falling out of bounds with 1 second left and just cold buries the 3 to win the game. This would be the most insane finish in a long time if we hadn't seen Dame do this so many freaking times in his career already. He has to lead the league in crazy difficult game-ending long threes, hands down. But the glow of this finish only lasted 24 hours, as the very next night we had two old frenemies going at it in Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. But the main storyline in the first half was Brad Beal's seeming indifference to wanting to play in this game. He didn't take a shot in the first quarter, which is crazy. Credit to DeAndre Jordan for jumping out on a number of these pin downs to take away an attack and force Beal to pass to the open man. But when the Nets jumped out to a huge lead, let's just say he got very frustrated. Even Worldwide Wob got into the act on Twitter, pointing out some clips of Beal looking disinterested, although some of these clips are just him holding his position while the offense runs. As Beal was detonating in the second half, Beal's wife responded in kind, but Rob took it to another level in his petty wars with the retort, and tensions are high. I repeat, tensions are high, as none other than Dame Lillard got onto Twitter to condemn the so many people who speak on the game. But the thing is, the Wizards were absolutely hanging with the Nets after their rough start, behind Russell Westbrook's hyper-efficient 19 first-half points. Give credit to Beal for getting through his frustration, sticking with it, and keeping the game close enough to get to the insanity at the end. The Wizards couldn't handle KD at all and decided to throw Russ on him in the last minute. And he does a great job to front him and dissuade two attempts at trying to get the ball down low to KD in the block, forcing Joe Harris to be a creator, which doesn't go so well for him. Then, in a brother against brother moment, Russ finds himself in transition against Durant and just takes him right to the hole and finishes nicely with the off-foot left hand at full speed. Ish Smith foolishly begins reaching in on Kyrie Irving, who's not getting ripped, and calmly hits the open free throw line jumper for the lead. The Wizards looked a bit despondent at this point, but they still had a chance, and probably felt good about it after the result of the last time these two teams faced each other. However, Beal couldn't hit after this absolutely gorgeous hockey stop on a dime. Watch the front foot turned in while the back foot drags, then a quick hop into the shot. And then down by 3, the Wizards absolutely didn't need to shoot from behind the arc, plenty of time to attack the hoop first. But Bertans cuts through the lane, bumping into Durant and sending him under the hoop, while his man Russ flares wide open to the left wing. Great recovery by KD to get out there to contest, and Russ slams this one short off the front iron and out of bounds. That should have been it. A 5-point lead with 12 seconds to go against a good team should be insurmountable, but it's time to hold on to your butts, folks. Decent defense by Bruce Brown to pick up Beal just inside half court, but the straight-on jumper is up, away, and ripples the net with plenty of time to foul and try again if the Nets miss their free throws. With 2 timeouts left, the Nets didn't have to rush to get this inbounds in, but Joe Harris panics, throwing this ball while still hunched over picking it up off the ground. I get that KD wanted to cut back to the middle instead of getting stuck in the corner. We saw what happened in the Bulls game when they caught it in the corner, but this was just a colossal screw-up at every level. And wouldn't you know it, the ball finds Russ wide open at the left wing, where he just rises up, lets it fly, and swishes one himself. 6 points in 5 seconds to take the lead. But they almost did this too fast, giving lots of time for the Nets to draw up a play. And a play they did draw up. They cleared the basket area and had KD cut around a cross screen, then curl around this screen in front of the ball. Gorgeous design, and Rui should have just switched this early. That doesn't happen, leaving Russ trailing and a surefire 2 points and the win for KD. But Russ saves the game by somehow deflecting this out of bounds. It was truly a game-saving play, but leaving the Nets with another advantageous inbounding position. The Wizards leave Russ on KD, and the fear of lobbing it for an easy shot here is real. So Beal decides to shade off his man to either dissuade the pass altogether or maybe deflect it away from behind. But he foolishly keeps creeping farther and farther over before the ball is handed to Kyrie, opening up a severe 2-on-1 on the weak side. It's an untenable situation for Rui, since either cutter is a layup for the win. Beal should have been in the lane to take away the pass to TLC, who cuts right through the hoop and gets the pass from Kyrie, who did shuffle his feet a few steps to get the angle. Guys, the rule is he has a full step radius in either direction to move around. It does not mean he has to keep a pivot foot or is allowed only one step. He moves about 3 feet to his left by taking several small steps legally before making the pass, and the layup should end the game. But wait, Rui recovers from his disadvantage to somehow pressure this just enough that it rolls off the rim. I seriously hope Scott Brooks is thanking Rui here for saving a win based on terrible initial positioning that wasn't Rui's fault. But he's hanging his head a bit, so I'm not sure what that was for. And once Beal makes the free throws and KD misses his desperation shot, the Wizards can celebrate a second win over the formidable Nets and commemorate this victory as literally the most insane finish of an NBA regular season game of all time.